56.
Bro, sharp.
Are those the owners?
Yeah?
Are those the owners?
Yeah, you want to go to Jara.
Oh, okay.
How are you? Can I help you? Oh, but why are you taking a video of our place? Say again? For road? I need to. I need to know what you're doing. Just call Alex there, please. Because I don't know what they're doing. But you can't just take a video of our place. We are in the process of our business rights, so we've got all the papers, everything was on here until the 16th. I can show you everything if there's a problem with that.
Can I help you, sir?
I want to praat my neem video van die goed. Hy sê nie wie hy is.
Can I have to ask you to listen?
No.
I'm calling the police.
Call the police.
Yes.
Don't touch me. Don't touch me.
Take off the
Do
stuff
not
from my
touch
house.
me.
Can you see
Do
it?
not touch me.
I'm not
Call
touching
the
you. I
police.
need
Don't
this
touch.
phone.
No, don't touch my property. Don't touch my property.
Emergency,
It's fine. You can
bull.
call the police.
What bull?
I'll wait here, but do not touch my property.
You
Do
cannot
not
take
touch me.
photos
Do not
and
touch my
videos of
property.
my property.
Fine. Call bull. Call the police.
I don't give a
Do
shit.
not touch. No.
Listen here.
No.
I'm gonna
no,
fucking kill
no,
you.
No.
I'll rip
no,
your throat out.
No.
Not no. You
no.
can't take photos
Leave
of my
property
house.
alone. Leave my property
No,
alone.
leave my
That is a
property
crime.
alone.
That is a crime.
That's also a crime.
That's not a crime.
You cannot take photos of my
That's why I
house.
said,
It's
call
a
the
crime.
police.
They're coming.
Call the police and call.
They're coming.
Do not break the law.
I need your identity, please.
You don't. It's fine. We'll sort it out.
I need your identity.
Do not.
Who are you?
Do not
Listen.
break the law.
You are breaking the law right now.
What law am I breaking?
You're taking photos of my house.
Okay. Which law? Okay. So according to the law,
It's my privacy, sir.
your
You
privacy,
cannot intervene. You. This is my privacy.
So
you
now
cannot
don't
stand
want-
in the
you don't want me
street to
to
take
talk.
photos.
You don't want me to talk.
I want you to tell me why you're taking photos of my house.
You've got a phone, right?
Direct
You've got a
copy, laddie,
smartphone.
laat the boel
You've got a
kom, asseblief.
smartphone, right? Just simply Google.
I don't give a shit. Laat boel kom, asseblief. You cannot stand in my.
I'm not in your yard. I'm on the street.
Okay, I
I'm
want
on
Give
the
a shit.
street.
You cannot take
Sir.
photos of my house.
Sir, Sir,
You are in-
calm
you are-
down.
you are-
Sir,
this
let's
is my
de-escalate.
privacy. I'm
I'm
not
willing
your
to have
sir.
a conversation with
No,
you.
I don't
So,
care.
so what do I
That's off the
call
shit
you?
from your phone.
What do I call
The
you?
security is
I'm
gonna
willing
come
to
and
have
take
a
you.
conversation with
I'm
you.
willing to have a
Security's
conversation
gonna
with
come
you.
and take
I'm
you.
who
But the way that you approach, she approached very well. She approached very nicely. I don't need you. I've got freedoms to do so.
I've got also rights in this
To
country.
tell me to move away from here. You
I've got
don't.
rights in this country.
Okay, so which right did I infringe on?
From taking photos of my house.
Which right did I infringe on?
Photos of
Okay,
my house.
gaan
Okay, is that against the law? Is that a right that I infringed on?
Okay, I'm just identifying yourself.
I don't have to identify myself,
Why
man. This
not?
is, in actual fact, this is what I'm doing
Okay,
because
yeah.
I'm educating people on this
Yeah.
very thing, and it's so frustrating. It's so frustrating that people.
But you know,
You-
it
you-
looks very suspicious. You can be a robber that's looking what you
Okay.
can steal. Do you understand my
So
my?
if I take you down here, there are people walking up and down. They could all be robbers, right?
Okay,
The
but
only
if
thing is
you're-
that
the only thing is you're
I've got- yes. And I know, I understand.
I mean, I can think that you are
Yes.
busy seeing what you can steal, how you can come into our place.
I-
So it's very important for me to know
I
who
get
you
you.
are and what you
I know
do.
it's very disconcerting, right? I know it's very
So he's just
uncomfortable.
doing that because he's protecting his
Yes.
family. That's
But
all.
that does not call for him because you saw, all I'm doing is that I've got a camera
Yeah, but
and
okay,
I
so
actually.
I still don't know what you're doing. You
So,
understand what I'm saying?
actually, I'll let you in very well because
Okay.
it's been a long day and it's been very frustrating. So what I do, I go around. I'm a photojournalist. I go around and I take pictures and video out in public
Yes.
on the public road, right?
Yes.
I do not get onto private property,
Yes.
right? And
Fuck, fuck, fuck.
oh my gosh.
Fuck me.
I don't give a damn.
I verduidelik my presies wat ek doen.
So-
Okay.
So what I do, I actually I publish stories on the constitutional rights and freedoms in relation to these sort of things. So I have, you see, so
Have your face and
what?
I
So-
verduidelik my more.
It's amazing. I've been doing this since last year, right?
Uh-huh.
I've engaged with SAPS. Even today I was at SAPS Littleton. In fact, when you guys call Bull, when you call the Bull guys, they will come and actually explain to you that they will come and explain to you guys that what I'm doing actually, because when I started as well, they also didn't understand, right? So as we got along, they used to act aggressively, but then they started also understanding that okay, there is actually nothing wrong with what I'm doing as long as I'm not getting onto your
So
property.
now what are you going to publish about my place? That is very nice.
So I walked past and I went that way like earlier on in the day, and then I saw that there was a business here, so I just came to take. Usually, so if you go to my channel, you'll actually see there are, I don't interfere with people. So that is why initially I actually just said, because I try not to interfere and interact. I know you would love to understand what I'm doing, but do I have to explain?
If you like dressing like this, yes.
So yes, like I said, I know it's very so this specific portion, right? Why I do this way, right? When you step outside your house, there are so many cameras that are recording you. CCTV cameras. Panyaza and Vuma got into some agreement to put cameras all over. There are dash cams, that are on people's vehicles and so on. So in essence, when you step outside your property, there's no expectation of privacy, right? So what I try to do is also to try and show
Yeah.
is that
because
when
he
you're
doesn't have my
outside
consent.
and you don't want your image to be taken, you create your own
Standing on my
privacy. Right?
pavement.
So that is what I try to
Not
show.
in the street.
And yeah, so that's the first portion of this specific part, to try and show that you create that reasonable expectation of privacy. Then the others, when it comes to the legalities, so in the Constitution section 16(1)(a) says everybody has freedom of expression, freedom of press and media, right? B says freedom to gather and share information and ideas, and that is actually journalistic activities. So journalism actually is a constitutional right which we all
Okay, I
have,
understand.
right? So I am practicing that, right, by going around video recording. I capture interactions like this because I use this to explain through my platform so that people understand.
So what this does is he takes videos and stuff of people without their consent, and then he puts them on social media so people can see how aggressive people get and all that. But he doesn't come in and present himself and say that's what he does. So he provokes people to get angry and get
Ma'am,
upset, and then he
so
posts
can
it
I
on
ask a
social
question?
media.
How
So
did
he
I?
doesn't
How
have
was this
my
provoking?
consent. So I'm saying this out
Is
loud.
it
You don't
not?
have my consent
So
to
is
place
this not?
anything on
So
social
ma'am,
media, so
there's-
you are actually against
There's
the
two.
Poppy Act.
There's two.
So please, we can go.
I can
inside
explain
and-
the Poppy Act as well. I can
Let's go
explain the
inside.
Poppy
Cheers.
Act.
Have a nice day.
Sir,
Have
we
nice
can
day.
have a conversation.
Have a nice day. Thank
We can have a conversation. I'm explaining to your wife. Even with the Poppy
you. You're
Act.
still busy to recording.
Yes, I am. So please move away from me.
I just want to see what you're recording.
I'm recording there. So
Now, why do you hide your face?
So this is what I just explained to the lady, right? So what I'm just explaining. So what Bull actually, when I started doing this.
Any consent to put any of my stuff.
Why
do you hide your face?
Okay. So why I hide my face?
He's hiding his face.
Okay, can we wait just for him?
Because
Because I wanted to have a conversation.
Why are you hiding your face?
Can he go? Then I'll have a
So we
conversation
have
with
to
you, not a
protect all
problem.
our customers, so we can't have just a person dressed as a criminal to approach us.
You know how many break-ins and
unknowingly,
stuff we've got in
and,
this area?
He doesn't present himself, so he comes here as a criminal and he
Bull
takes
are very
videos,
well aware of me.
which now he knows
Saps
he's
are very
entitled to
well aware
because
of
he's
me.
on the pavement, but he doesn't
the guy
have my
with the
consent
with
to
the
place
beard,
anything
the guy
on
who
social
drives the
media.
let him
bike.
come
No,
out.
I don't know his number, but
So my attorney
earlier.
will contact you if you put
Okay.
anything of me on social media. Thank
Alright.
you very much.
Thank you, sir.
Why
So-
are you hiding in
Okay,
your
so
face?
why I hide my face? First of all, I'm a photojournalist. I'm an independent photojournalist.
Okay, but
I
then you come
exercise
and you
my.
introduce yourself. You've got no exercise.
So first of all, sir, remember that I'm on a public road, right?
Yeah.
So if I came onto the property, then yes, I need to come and introduce myself. But being on a public road, exercising my freedom of movement,
And film a private
yes, because
residential properties.
Yes.
That's your freedom.
in South Africa there's
That's
only
your
one
freedom.
law. There's only one law that where it's not even prohibited, where you can be prohibited from
Let me.
filming.
I'm not going to argue with me.
So I'm not argu-
Listen here, I'm not
I'm not
threatening you.
arguing.
I'm not threatening
arguing.
you.
I'm not arguing. I was
not
actually
threatening you.
explaining.
Okay, I'm not threatening you. I'm warning you.
So
Come to my property.
Sir.
I will shoot you. I'm telling you.
Sir.
I don't care
so
about the law.
it's amazing that I'm having a
Why
conversation. I'm prepared
why are you covering your face? Why
because
can't we see
I'm
your face?
creating my own privacy. Because
you
when I'm
report us,
outside,
so our privacy's
yes,
got nothing to do
because
with
when you
that.
come outside of your property, there are cameras everywhere. People have dash cams.
Where's camera? Show me.
There are cameras all over. There are
me
certain
one camera
places.
here. Show
There are
me
people
one
with
camera
dash
here.
cams.
Show
No,
me
no.
one
There,
camera
it may
here.
not necessarily be here, but when I step outside my property, anybody can record me within
That's
their
not
right.
true.
That is true,
That's
sir.
not true. It's in
So,
conjunction with the Poppy Act.
which section of the
The
Poppy Act?
Poppy Act that's got that you can.
So-
you're not allowed to put anything of me, even if I'm standing there. You're not allowed to film me without my consent. Not
There's
take a
no-
photo of me without my
So
consent.
the Poppy Act, first of all, mainly
I'm
applies
not
to
going to argue
businesses.
with you because
I'm
you're
not-
hiding your face.
I'm not
telling
arguing.
you. I'm telling you. If something happens
Sir, I'm
here,
not arguing
I'm
with
not
you.
threatening
I'm having a
warning you.
conversation. Why don't you want to have a conversation?
Because you are dressed like a fucking thief.
We used to wear, we all used to wear masks 4
That
years
was in
ago.
COVID time. That was in COVID
But is it
time,
against the
3
law?
years ago.
But is it against the law?
It's not against the law. Why don't you
So,
want
so it is. But it's my right to do so.
Listen,
But it's my right to do
okay,
so.
Listen here,
You
listen
can
here.
wear.
Give me a chance.
if-
Give me a chance.
Yes, sir.
Take your mask and your bril and your hood off. Let me take a picture of you. Then you can do whatever you want to do here.
It's my right.
Then you can
It's
do
my
whatever.
right.
Now I'm warning you. I'm telling you again. If you come near my property, and I'm not threatening you. I'm warning you. I will fucking shoot.
Sir,
Finish and
first of all, you approached me, right, to have a conversation, right? And then this is how you react.
No.
And I'm
you
willing
didn't
to have a
come here and
conversation.
Introduce yourself.
I don't have to because I'm on the street. I have freedom to move.
Like a thief with a mask and
So,
Brille in hoedens
so
and
everybody
alles
who
so
wears a
goed.
mask is a thief. Everybody who wears glasses is a thief. There's
ja.
Bull.
Ja.
Sorry, there's Bull. You can
That
call
is-
them. They
that
will
is
explain.
like that.
There's Bull. They can come and explain.
How many incidents did you have with at your house? This guy is taking films and pictures all over of the property here. He's dressed like a fucking thief.
It's fine. Let Bull come. Call the cops. Let them come
But
and then
you
explain.
can't just
take pictures of people's houses.
I was having a beautiful
You had a big
conversation.
argument with these people.
I didn't have an
Okay, well, I
argument.
managed
I was
this-
actually talking to the lady very nicely,
But
and
he's
then the
managing
guy.
its property.
I'm managing this property.
Yes,
so
sir.
what-
And I'm
can
telling you,
explain
we
to me
had-
what purpose or what was the purpose of the
Okay.
video?
So I had a beautiful. I'm a photojournalist,
Okay.
right? I
Can
walk
see your ID
around.
card?
So
Can I see your ID card?
which organization gives an ID? Which ID are you talking about?
You
first
are
of
a
all?
journalist, so you must have an ID card.
Which organization gives
Doesn't
out
matter if
journalists?
you are for Beeld or Rapport
No,
or Daily
okay.
News.
So let
you
me
must
explain.
have an
I'm
ID card.
independent, right? Because constitutional, we all have. Journalism is actually a constitutional
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
Section 16(1) A and B actually gives us all journalistic rights.
Okay.
Okay, so I can freely exercise my right to journalism, right?
Of the properties.
And I can freely exercise my right to move.
That you feel you got freedom of movement. I agree with you. There.
Freedom
What
of press and media.
you- correct. I agree
Okay.
with you there. What you do need to do, though, however,
Yes.
if you're taking a photo now it becomes things like the Poppy Act comes into play. When you start taking pictures of private properties and of private individuals, you actually need the permission of that, because any of those photographs of this building of mine appears without my permission. Firstly, I can see for copyright. There's a whole list of things I can go through.
Okay.
Besides the fact that this is a private property, so the correct procedure would have been to come in, speak to Fallon or speak to anybody over here. They would have called me. I would have come and said to you, listen, my mate, you want to take photographs, you want to do that, not a problem. You
So
understand?
I would have loved if the bull guy would stop and they would
Okay,
explain,
now
because
call them.
I started this last year, right?
Okay.
I started this last year. I've been downtown, Jacqueline Drive, Centurion. I filmed banks even, stand in front of the bank and I record, right? And I have engaged with so many police lieutenant colonels and colonels,
Yes.
right? And they will all tell you, Bull themselves used to be very aggressive when they first encountered me,
Yes.
but they've also come to understand that legally, I do not have to ask permission
To film
as
on
long as
property.
as long as I'm on the street, right? If I come onto the property, then
No, no,
you
that's
guys
a different-
would
that's
have
trespass.
actually you should have what's this right of admission?
right of
That's
admission
it.
on the
Yes,
inside?
because there, once I step into the property, then I have to abide by, and then I have to ask permission, and I have to
Yeah.
state all of these things. And if you guys want my ID when I'm inside, that is it.
Yeah.
But out in
Yeah,
public,
no, I'm not worried
So-
about your ID or anything like that, my brother. That's not the issue over
Yeah,
here.
I am, because
So-
he's dressed
so-
like a criminal.
so even
Why
this
do-
itself.
Why does he hide his
so
face?
I try to explain to him. So what I do, why I dress like this, I know it's disconcerting.
Do you dress like this in Soweto as well?
I can dress like this in Soweto,
I
but I'm
asked
not from
you,
Soweto.
can't you? I asked
But
you,
I'm
you
but I'm
dress
not
like
from
this in
Soweto.
Soweto as well.
I'm not from Soweto.
Yeah, because if you go there, they will shoot you, they will kill you.
Why are you talking violence? Why
not
does it
talking
always have to
violence.
resort to
I'm not
violence?
talking violence.
Because
I've
you're
asked
talking
you-
about shooting me.
I've asked
Why?
you, I'm not saying
Why?
I'm going to shoot you. I warned you.
But why are
if
you
I
doing
get
that?
You, if I
But
get
why are
you
you
like
doing that?
this, here, in my yard, I
Why
will
does it
shoot
have to
you.
resort to that?
And I didn't threat you, I've warned you. And that's why I'm saying you doesn't want to provide us with an identification card.
But I don't have to.
Yeah,
I don't have to. This is
Dress
what I'm
like
trying
this.
to. This is what I'm trying to
Dress like
explain.
this.
Because I can. So what I try to do, why I do this, like I said, it's very disconcerting. I know, right? But remember, I'm not responsible for your feelings. Whatever you feel about this is subjective. It's subjective, right? Okay. So if you feel uncomfortable by my dress like this, that's your own thing. Nobody can ask you why you're wearing glasses, you're wearing a hat, and whatever it is. And so anybody can dress and cover themselves up. So what I do, I use this to explain the portion that when you step outside of your property, right, you can be captured on any camera anywhere. Dash cams, Vuma cams that are being put up all over the place.
Buddy, I'm not. Let me explain to you. I'm
Just
not
give me a
disputing.
second. Let
I'm
me
not-
tell you something.
Yeah, I'm not
This guy,
disputing it.
his son was robbed here. Of 3-4 black people that was hiding there in daylight like this.
So-
and you expect
so
us-
I'm
we
very
must- we
conspicuous.
must
Beautiful
not
thing
ask
is-
you who you are.
You have a
what are you-
right to
what are
ask
you-
me.
what are
And I've
using
asked you
this
and you didn't
So,
produce
so,
ID.
but I don't have to produce
What are
ID
you
to
using
you.
this for?
So I actually publish stories in relation to this
He's
very
using
thing.
this to say there's no cameras, come and break in here. My friends
You
from
can go
Soweto,
to you can
come
go
and
to
break
Mzansi
in
Camera.
here.
I think they
That's what
explained to
he's
him.
using this
So you
stuff
can
for.
go to a platform called Mzansi Camera Guy where I explain all of these
Yeah.
things.
Okay.
Right?
What I'm suggesting is,
Yeah.
just for future reference, especially in this area,
Yeah.
what I would suggest, I understand what you're trying to do, and yes, I understand your right to movement and rights of freedom and things like that, and the fact that I don't have the right to ask you for an ID document now. But what I'm saying is what you need to be careful of. Anything of this that's been used for commercial purposes, any of this, okay, then it becomes an issue. You cannot, by law, publish without any of our permissions. You cannot do that.
There is an except. So that is why I'm saying, if you go to Mzansi Camera Guy, you go to the platform and you check it out. I've been doing this since last year. I started in January. So one of my most difficult incidents was outside the guy who's got Bourbon Highway, where the guy literally came and he attacked me, right? The police were involved as well, right? That was published. Bourbon Highway is there, the Brill Cafe, but they cannot do anything about it. The same way, the one time I was recording in Brooklyn, but in Brooklyn. So the guy who was managing the property came out and he spoke to me and he said the owner of the property is actually a lawyer, he's gonna call him. He called the guy and the guy said, no, as long as I'm outside in public.
Look, I'm not disputing when let's go back to the basics again. I'm not disputing that.
Yeah.
I have the right, if I want to walk up and down here with my balls hanging out, that's my
It's your
choice.
but it could be public indecency. No, but it could be.
No, you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I understand that.
Yeah.
But when I start taking pictures of people's motor vehicles and I start taking pictures of people's properties and things like that, then it becomes an issue. And you need to be able to, my advice to you is feel free to engage with the people over here. We're very amicable to engage with. If you actually want to come here, this is a business. And if you want to promote my business, I've got no issues with that. There's a business next door over here. If you want to promote, I've got no issues with that.
Can I just add something?
Yes.
So if that video ends up on social media and someone breaks into my house, then it becomes a criminal issue.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I don't have I went with the cops, so
that won't happen because there's no ways you're going to prove that's him.
No, so
Because
the police.
I've got video now that
So I will share with you, Captain. I don't know if you guys are aware. You guys are part of the
Okay, so
CPF.
this is a business. It's not
Captain
a house.
Miller.
Yeah.
I've engaged with Captain Miller, who's the person in charge of responsible for CPF. I've engaged with him. He knows who I am. He knows my detail. But he's obviously not going to share it, right? But he knows who I am. I've engaged with Captain Snyman from Garsfontein
I know
Police Station.
Garsfontein very well.
Yes.
I know the colonel there.
Yeah, it used to be Colonel Solomon's, but they've
Colonel
changed.
Solomon's is now Mama Lady.
Okay, so I've engaged with all of them and they know what I do, right? So I don't have a problem if someone breaks in and I'm a suspect. It's fine. But the beauty of our legal system
people are killed
is that it's
that.
fine. The beauty of our
So
legal
this is
system.
actually not right. So
This can lead to a criminal offence.
Who's the head of the
If
police?
this is put on social media, this
Tell
can lead
me.
to a criminal offence. And
I don't know.
Must I give you a clue?
And if people are killed in the process,
Must I give you a clue?
Big
how can they
Bekele.
allow this?
Bekele. What do
How
you
can
know
they
about
allow this?
Bekele?
It's just not on. So what if
He's
people
head
are
of
killed in the
police.
process because they now see what
And
the
he's
video
got a
is
So,
record.
so
premises.
even
So he's
on
revealing
your, if you
information
go onto the platform,
To criminals on social media. and if
I think
people
the
are
latest
killed,
video I published
this is not on.
was of the American embassy. That's
What's
to
the
show you
purpose of this?
why. To show you
You
that.
could be lucky they didn't catch you filming American Embassy.
No, they did. They called.
Fucking lucky they didn't see
No,
you,
they called. They came out and they engaged me, but very calmly and peacefully. And I explained to them, but they still felt no. They wanted to call it. They called the diplomatic police. The diplomatic police came. We went there. It became a big thingy because what's this thing? Foreign affairs and whatever
You
it is.
can't film
Get.
embassies and things like that.
But it is.
showing my
I can.
identification.
But funny enough, I did, and I can, and I published it.